Hello there and welcome to the world of Pokemon Gen 1 solo runs, and my word, didn't this one take a long time. This was Caterpie's run, and now before we get into Caterpie's run, yes, technically Caterpie is impossible to do in Gen 1 because of not being able to use Struggle to damage the ghosts and whatnot. Now, Caterpie only learns two moves, and they are Tackle and String Shot. So Caterpie can't damage the ghosts, and because Struggle is based as a normal type move in Gen 1 only, eventually for Caterpie to actually be able to do this as a solo run, I will have to teach her a move. So what move do I teach Caterpie? The most likely move that a Caterpie could reasonably learn, if we go by logic here, is probably Leech Life. It's a bug move, and Caterpies probably use a leech technique to eat food out of trees. That's my logic going in with Caterpie. Now, its stats are absolutely dreadful. Another thing that made Caterpie's run absolutely dreadful is the fact that it levels up, or when it gets to level 7, it will start to evolve into Metapod. So throughout the whole run, I'm going to have to be wary of not accidentally evolving my Pokemon as I use the speed up feature. So Caterpie's run is a bit different. Usually when I do these runs, I do them live. I don't cut edit and do the commentary after. I do the commentary as I'm playing. Caterpie is different. Because Caterpie's run took so long to do, I didn't commentate it while I was playing. Caterpie's run overall, it took days. Took a couple of days to actually finally get through. The main issue with Caterpie as well for start of the game is Brock. Brock took an ungodly amount of time to get through. I don't remember what level Caterpie was. I think it might have been 25 or so before it actually got through Brock, but you will see some of the battles leading up to that, so you can see just how dreadful this Pokemon actually is to use as a solo run. Not only is it really weak and doesn't have a moveset, Caterpie, because of the way Gen 1 is sort of programmed, Caterpie, to actually win the game, it has to rely on battle items, which we'll get to later in the run. But technically, yes, Caterpie can beat the Elite Four on its own. Now, I say on its own as it just being the Pokemon itself. Caterpie needs external help though, let's just put it that way. So as I finally fumble my way through the start of the game, it looks like we are now heading up to Brock. So I grabbed the hidden potions, and what you're going to see here is the absolute struggle and a half soon that Caterpie, even having with the generic Game World trainers, and I did have to save a lot during this run. Mainly because I'm so used to using the speed up toggle, I can accidentally evolve Caterpie into Metapod, and that will destroy Caterpie's run. And you see already, I've only just entered Viridian Forest. I'm already out of HP, and I'm just fighting wild Pokemon. Caterpie, to even have a chance of getting through Brock, would have to be like, I didn't know what level it would have to be, but I was assuming somewhere around the level 25 to 30 was what I was anticipating, and this is what I'm talking about here. So what happened there, I just instinctively hit my speed up toggle and I evolved Caterpie into Metapod, which thankfully I'd saved not too long before, so I didn't lose too much time on that. But that is one of the main challenges that I actually have with Caterpie's run, is accidentally evolving it into Metapod. I did do it a few times. I didn't do it a hell of a lot of times. I was usually pretty good. I think maybe there may have been 3 or 4 occasions, but I was saving pretty regularly. I didn't really lose any time. So the way I'm thinking about doing Caterpie's run, or what I was thinking about when doing Caterpie's run, I should say, was how am I going to level Caterpie up the fastest way possible? And there is actually a little secret you can do with Gem 1 if you're doing runs like this. So Caterpie has just got to level 7 and needing 152 points to level up. Even just getting through some of these trainers at the start is going to be really difficult. Now, I like to beat the rival as well that's hanging out just by where Victory Road is. And because Caterpie isn't gaining a lot of experience in Viridian Forest, this just took so long. In fact, Caterpie has actually run out of tackle PP here. Its last tackle got rid of that last wild Caterpie. So not only does Caterpie level up, it doesn't actually level up that fast. It needed 91 at the start to get to level 5. To get level 6. That's actually not a very fast level up group. That's actually quite slow. So it's not the slowest. I think the slowest, it has 114 to gain the level, but it's not quick. So Caterpie, get comfortable. Refresh your drink. If some people, I usually watch videos like this while I'm eating dinner or something. Whatever it is you're doing, get comfortable because we were here for a while. And as you see, Caterpie's stats, even after 3 levels, they haven't grown that much. And Caterpie's stats, even towards the end of the game, you will see its stats. Spoiler alert, it's not really a spoiler, you probably assume this, but Caterpie, it did have to get to level 100. Yes, I did grow to Caterpie to level 100 to get this done, and its stats barely scraped over the 100. That's how bad of a Pokemon we're talking about, but it's all in the realm of dedication here of completing 151 solo runs on Gem 1. As again, I've run out of PP. I can't even knock off a Metapod in the end. So a lot of walking in backwards and forwards. I've kept this run. I've kept it as close to authentic as I can, and that's what I mean. What I mean by that is I'm not skipping out large bits of the game. So Caterpie's at level 9 now. I think it was at about level 9 that I decided to try and take on the Viridian Forest trainers, but just training this Pokemon, even just in this sort of speed up mode, just took so long. Right, in fact, maybe I got to level 10. But we will see a little level up secret soon on. Now, Kakuna and Metapods are very good to battle against because they give you, if you can knock them off pretty quick, it's a lot better. But as you see, they give you 40 odd experience. If they're level 6, I think they give you about 57 or something like that. But you can actually level up a little bit quicker if you're encountering Kakuna and Metapods. So this one's level 5, but as you see, I will not have enough tackle PP to actually be able to get through it. So once again, back to the Pokemon Center. I don't know how many Pokemon Center visits that's been, but I've left this in. I was thinking about cutting the start of it, but I thought some people would actually like to see just how obnoxious training a Caterpie is. We all wanted to train it up to level 7 so we could get it to a Metapod. We then all wanted to get it to level 10 to get it to a Butterfree. And to think, Metapod and Kakuna are actually going to be harder runs in this because they only have Harden when they start off. So Caterpie is now at level 10. It has got 30 HP, which, HP-wise, Caterpie's actually not that bad in terms of HP, but... So, with this now, I do believe I exhaust the rest of the PP, and then I believe I go after the first couple of Viridian Forest trainers. I know that because Caterpie just has... Its speed is dreadful, its attack strength is dreadful. There's no way I'm going to get through that Pidgey straight up. There's Caterpie's stats again. 14, 12, 16, and 12. And this is at level 10. This is just a small window of just how bad Caterpie actually is. As we... There's another Metapod. And my PP is pretty much exhausted. I get one more Caterpie and my PP is done. I didn't even knock that Caterpie out. So, going on further runs, there are still some decent Pokemon that I can do. I've still got Tauros to do, but I'm saving Tauros for last. I've still got Pokemon like Horsey and Tentacool. They shouldn't be too bad. I've also got one left in my on my hard drive, and that's Coughing. Coughing's one has been finished. I just haven't put it together yet either. I decided to do Caterpie first, just because of how large the project was. So there we go. Caterpie is now at level 11, and this is 10 minutes into the run. So if you've stuck around this long already, you know this is a 2-hour long video. I'm not going to leave anything out. I'm going to show you exactly how much difficulty Caterpie had. What I will cut out is the main grinding bits after this. Because I ended up having to grow Caterpie to like level, I can't remember if it was 25 or 30, but it was high for this stage of the game. It was very high. So another thing with Caterpie and going up against these trainers is Caterpie can be poisoned, of course, and Caterpie is also weak against the poison sting move as well. So that's how difficult it is with Caterpie just to get it to this level, just so it can beat these couple of bug trainers in Viridian Forest. Caterpie has had to get to level 11 and it's still losing. Like, Caterpie isn't winning this battle, it's losing. And I mean, the poison is taking its toll as well, but Caterpie didn't even get through that trainer. And this is at level 11, so that's a scary thought, isn't it? So the good thing is, though, is that whenever Caterpie faints, whenever Caterpie defeats one of these Pokemon, it's actually getting 78 points instead of the the 20 to 30s or so of what you get with the wild Pokemon. That's a little strategy that I've begun to pick up as I've done more and more of these runs. A really good Pokemon to do it with is the trainer just before Brock in Pewter City's gym. Like this, you can actually level Caterpie up a little bit quicker. Now, Caterpie has to be able to get the win first. That's why I had to level up to level 11 to begin with. But there we go. We get through this trainer, and Caterpie gained quite a bit of points from it. It's with only 8 HP, Caterpie is going to faint here. And so when it says game time, that kind of gets destroyed because I'm speeding up the game. The game doesn't quite realize what's going on. But there's Caterpie's stats at level 12. You see, its attack didn't even grow. So what was that? At level 12, and it's got 16 attack. Yeah, Caterpie just scraped the hundreds. When it got to level 100, it was literally only just scraping past the rest of its stats were only around like the 100 about 110, 120 or so. So any Metapod that I could get, I was actually knocking off because they give you okay experience and you also can't get damaged from them. There's another potion here. I was anticipating to use potions against Brock. I have to give Caterpie some sort of advantage, some sort of break. So battle items will have to be allowed in its run. I mean, it can't finish a run without battle items anyway. But at level 13, we're finally through Viridian Forest, and even though it was 12-13 minutes on this video to actually get through, the main issue with Caterpie is in real time, I don't know how long this took me. I mean, I'm speeding the game up, so it doesn't take as long. Well, actually, what's the video length? 13 minutes. That's what it would have taken me to get to this stage, because I'm actually having to speed the game up. It's actually what comes after this that actually took the start of the game so long. So what I'm doing here is I'm using Diglett to level Caterpie up. Sandshrews knocking Caterpie off like straight after. But what this is, Diglett gives you, as you see there, 190 experience points. That's a lot more than the 20 or so that we were gaining in Viridian Forest. This is how you can manipulate the game to kind of give you, to level your Pokemon up faster when you're using a really bad one and you need to level up a lot against Brock. If you ever want to do solo runs, use that Diglett to level up. That Diglett is your best friend. Diglett's defense is very low. Diglett's pretty quick and it can hit fairly hard, but defensively, Diglett is actually quite weak. So if you can use a physical move on him, you can actually level up pretty quick. And look at that, level 15, attack at 19, 17, 22 and 16. I will do a lot of stat checks throughout this run because it's funny to tease Caterpie and how useless it actually is. But Sandshrew also has Sand Attack, so actually getting through this trainer is actually challenging enough because Sandshrew will just keep using Sand Attack and Caterpie's accuracy will go. As you see, look how close that was. Critical hit, and Caterpie. Now, you saw I went for String Shot. Yes, Caterpie maybe could have won it there. But I actually want to use that Diglett. I wanted to use that Diglett a little bit longer. So, like I said, this is all pre-recorded. I'm commentating over the top because eventually what you will see is that I did actually speed things up a little bit for some of the grinding, but literally this strategy is what I had to go with. So it was it actually the start of the game that was the hardest part of this? Believe it or not, no. The start of the game was actually one of the easier spots to actually get through, despite the time that it takes to get through. The majority of the time that was spent was actually getting Caterpie to level 100 because I was using mostly Diglett Cave and the bike path to the left of Celadon City. They're both okay training spots. But look at this, Caterpie at level 17. Now, eventually, I think what I was going to do here is I was going to get Caterpie to level 20. I think that was my plan. Getting Caterpie to level 20 and then maybe trying Brock for the first time, or seeing if I could actually beat this trainer with like legitimacy, because Sandshrew is using Sand Attack. So I'm only going for Tackle here. And Caterpie still isn't even knocking this Sandshrew out, even at level 17. What level was Bugsy's? Did Bugsy use a Caterpie in Gen 2? Or did you just use Metapod, Kakuna, and Scyther? But just think, in Gen 2, I will have to do Caterpie again. Which is a scary thought, because doing it in Gen 1 was hard enough. Alright, Caterpie. Caterpie is now at level 18, and it's only taking 2 hits to knock Diglett off, which isn't too bad, but all in all, it still can't get past Sandshrew. I actually can't remember what level Caterpie was when it finally knocked this Sandshrew off. I think it might have been 19. Actually, it might have been... No, I was still using String Shot here by the look of it. Like I said, this is all pre-recorded. I actually don't remember... I don't remember that much of the run because I've actually had this banked up in my hard drive for a little while. It took me a while to actually put the run together as well. I think I was probably aiming for level 20. But again, I'm only going to do this Caterpie run once. I would like to include as much of it as possible, even though there's not really a lot to talk about here. I am just grinding for the level. It's more of an appreciation thing that I've actually left this section of the game in. Caterpie has finally defeated that Sandshrew and it's now level 19. So this is a big document of Caterpie's as legitimate as possible Gen 1 solo run. And as it gets to level 19, of course, every single level it will want to evolve. So I have to be careful with that. Now there is a battle that I need to go back for, and that is for the rival by Victory Road. I never skip that battle. I always do it. It's just seems for me to be part of the game. But well, as we see this part of the game, it took me a long time to get past Brock. I'll give it that much. But so I plan to do solo runs, all 251 Pokemon of Gen 2. And at least all 386 for Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. I'll probably do the runs on Emerald because Emerald's a slightly chunkier game. I was going to do the solo runs on Crystal, however, Gold, Silver, and Crystal aren't really that different. There's no real different trainers hanging around. There's a couple of different field ones, but they're not mandatory ones. And I have codes to change the starter on Silver. I don't have a code to change the starter on Emerald, Ruby, or Sapphire, so I'm just going to use Emerald, and I'm just going to use a little bit of manipulation to catch me the Pokemon I want to do the run with at the start of the game instead, because the only battle I lose is at starting Poochyena, which doesn't really mean anything. Now, Caterpie at level 19. How scary is this? Geodude's at level 12. Caterpie didn't even do half its health. I've already defeated that Diglett, and so what do I do from here? All of the trainers are beaten. I've only got wild Pokemon to defeat here. So look at that. That time I barely made it halfway. Caterpie has absolutely no chance of actually defeating Brock right now. So what do I have to do? I'm going to have to level up, and you might have seen my arrow go. So here's some screenshots. Caterpie grew to level 20. That's its stats. That's its stats at level 21. I think there's 5-second intervals between all of them. Yep, Caterpie grew to level 22. That's its stats here. So this is where I did shorten the run a bit, because do you really want to watch me grind anymore? If you're still watching at this part, fair play. But this is the grind. I wanted to document this. I wanted to document this to show you just how ridiculous this run is. How difficult it is. So I went off to Viridian Forest. I just battled wild Pokemon until I got to level 25. I'm Brock, Pewter City's gym leader. I only use rock Pokemon, which is bad news for your Caterpie. Alright, how good does Caterpie do at level 25? Look at that. Caterpie still is doing almost nothing to this Geodude. And this is at level 25. Now, if I use my battle items, if I use my potions, I can probably do it. Now, Caterpie gets past Geodude. I got a bit lucky. Geodude didn't go for a lot of tackles. So what I need from Onix here... Oh, yes, I remember this now. Onix uses Bide. I actually get incredible luck in this match. Because, if I remember correctly, I remember trying the battles as I was going from level 21 to 25. And I remember getting beaten pretty easily at level 24. I got to level 25 and decided to try again. Onix doesn't actually go for tackle at all. It just keeps going for Screech. Now that is purely luck-based. That's nothing to do with the game. I think Onix, and then it went for Bide again. So I just have to use String Shot to bypass Bide. And then I get another tackling because Caterpie is faster. I took a lot of damage there, and I'm like, this has gone on for long enough. I'm just going to use potions to get through this, because otherwise Caterpie is going to be like level 30, 35 before it goes any further. Look at that. Abide by Onix. So Onix didn't go for a lot of tackles. I only had to use one potion, which ironically, Onix basically has a 33% chance to use tackle. And it just never went for it. But at level 25, if you want to throw how legitimate it is, because I threw Caterpie a potion, it only needed one potion, which is actually surprising. If I'm not going to lie, I thought I would have had to use all 5 of them. But at level 25, Caterpie, I actually thought I was going to, if I would have enough tackle PP to actually beat Brock. Struggle does more damage, but recoil damage as well. But after what was, well, let's see, it's 23 minutes on the video. Leveling Caterpie up to level 25 probably took, I don't know if it was maybe 20 or 30 minutes or something, but it wasn't a small amount of time. But after all that, we are finally through Brock, and we can continue on the game. So even the field trainers all pose a threat just because of how weak Caterpie is. But I won't skip any of them. I'll go through them all. I did have to keep healing and stuff. Caterpie would either end up get poisoned, or it would run out of PP, or it would get low on health because it's just so weak and all this. Now, I'm just going to grab my list, and I'm going to read through the Pokemon, because there's not really much to talk about here. So I'm going to have a read through of the list of the Pokemon that I still need to do for a Gen 1 solo run. Okay, so my Gen 1 solo run. I still need to do Charmander and Squirtle. I did Bulbasaur. I think I did Bulbasaur first. And I've still got to do Ivysaur, Charmeleon, and Wartortle. So Charmeleon, Wartortle, and Ivysaur, they might be okay. As the starters are generally pretty good. I need to do Metapod and Kakuna, and I also need to do Weedle. Weedle's got Poison Sting, so it should actually get through the start of the game a bit quicker. But in terms of Metapod and Kakuna, they may be the worst. They may even be worse than Ditto and Magikarp. I need to do Pidgey and Pidgeotto. Pidgeot wasn't fantastic. I'm not looking forward to doing Pidgey. I'm not looking forward to doing Pidgeotto. I don't think either one of them are going to be very good. Spearow. Fearow was better than Pidgeot because it learnt Drill Peck. Spearow itself will also learn Drill Peck as well by level up, I think, as well. I need to do Ekans. Arbok. As much as I love Arbok, it wasn't a fantastic run. I don't remember Arbok being anything special. Sandshrew is another one I need to still do as well. Sandshrew is going to be absolutely horrible. Because Sandshrew... Oh my word. Sandshrew... Boy oh boy. Sandslash was horrible. And when I say horrible, I mean horrible. Sandslash, I think, got up to like level 80 or something. Sandshrew is going to have a harder time than Sandslash. I need to do both of the Nidorans. They're okay. Nidorino and Nidorina struggled a little bit, but the Nidorans are a little bit better than average. I need to do Vulpix. That'll struggle with Lorelei more than anything. Zubat. Golbat wasn't really that fantastic for Gen 1. I need to do Oddish and Gloom. I think Gloom will be okay. Now I need to do Paris. I did do Parasect already. Parasect was one of my very early ones. Venonat. Venonat is not going to be fun. Venonat is extremely difficult. I remember I always loathed trying to get my Venonat to a Venomoth. Diglett. Alright, Dugtrio. As good as Dugtrio is, it is not good for Gen 1, especially towards the Elite Four. Lorelei took a long time to get through. So Diglett won't be fun. Meowth. I've already done Meowth, I just haven't crossed it off on my list. Meowth actually did a lot worse than what I thought it would, given how good Persian was. Meowth actually didn't do that great. Psyduck. Psyduck shouldn't be too bad. Water types in general for Gen 1 are pretty good now. Alright, we're at Misty's gym now, and you're going to see something absolutely crazy soon. So, what level's Caterpie? I just missed. I didn't see it. Okay, Mankey is another one that I need to do. Mankey might actually be okay. Fighting types aren't actually too bad for Gen 1 because they're only weak against Flying and Psychic. So the Psychic Pokemon are a bit of a problem. However, Flying types aren't really that much of a problem for solo runs. So Mankey could be okay. Growlithe will be about the same as Vulpix. Poliwag. Poliwag should be okay. Abra. I still need to do Abra. And of course, Abra only has Teleport for the start of the game until I think Abra can learn Mega Punch. Believe it or not, I do believe Abra can learn Mega Punch now. Alright, Caterpie's level 26. I didn't even get through Pidgeotto. And Pidgeotto will continuously use, Sand Attack as well. So I go in against this trainer here just to try and buffer Caterpie up a little bit more. There we go, gets to level 27. Still need to do Machop as well. Now, Machoke and Machamp are actually pretty good, so that's why I think the fighting types will be okay. Bellsprout and Weepinbell, still need to do them. I think Weepinbell will be okay. Tentacool will probably be alright. Geodude and Graveler are going to be horrible. Ponyta, Rapidash, I don't remember Rapidash being that good. Still got to do Slowpoke, which, as its name suggests, is one of the slowest Pokemon in the game. Alright, so now I get through Staryu just fine. Look how much damage I'm doing to this damn Starmie. Starmie absolutely wiped the floor with Caterpie. It wasn't even a contest. And I'm 6 levels higher. I went back a few times to try to beat it, but the result was all the same. Still need to do Doduo. Doduo and Dodrio. Dodrio's a lot better than Pidgeot because it can learn Drill Peck. Seal. Seal would probably be alright. Dugong was one of the best runs so far. Or very early as well. As the runs have gone on, obviously I've gotten better at them as well. Grimer. Muck, Grimer, they're okay. There's nothing really special about them. Still got to do Shelter. Still need to do Krabby as well. So I've still got a few water types that I can do as well. Voltorb. I'm planning to do Voltorb for number 100 because Voltorb itself, I believe, is number 100. Magnemite wasn't that good. Voltorb's not really going to be any better. Execute, that's going to be one of the hardest because Execute just does not learn anything. So that one's not going to be fun. Cubone is going to be horrible. Marowak was absolutely dreadful. I remember Marowak's run. It was an early one, but oh man. Rhyhorn's not going to be good. Tangela, it's going to be very difficult. Horsey and Goldeen could be better. Tauros only gets tackle up until like level 28 or something. So as soon as we can get through that issue, Tauros will be fine. Tauros is really strong. Eevee will be very difficult. Again, Eevee can learn Bide. That's the only possible way I can get through the ghosts. And that was the same with Scyther. I've already done Scyther's run, but it was an absolute nightmare. And as you say, Caterpie is getting absolutely pasted by Starmie. Even at level 29. Still got to do Omanyte and Kabuto and Dratini as well. I have got Missing No listed, but actually getting the Pokemon to start as a Missing No has proven to be very difficult. It keeps turning into a Rhydon. So I could catch one and maybe battle with it. I don't know if I'll do Missing No in the end. I think I might try. I might have to catch one though. I won't actually be able to start with one. Because whenever I've tried to start with a Missing No, I have tried it before, it just keeps turning into a Rhydon. Or I think I turned it into a Farfetch'd a couple of times, but the game seems to default to something because it doesn't know what Missing No is, and it just... Okay, and look at that. Look how close good old Caterpie got to beating Starmie at that point. And at level 38, I'm guessing I must have made a cut edit. I've just looked up and my level's gone up exponentially, so... Yes, I must have done... Look at that, level 38, and I'm still struggling to get through half of Starmie. I don't know how long that took, but it was a long time because I didn't really have anywhere else. I don't really have anywhere good to train here. So yeah, it did take a long time to level Caterpie up to 38. And look at that, Bubble Beam with a critical hit as well. It's just it was such a drag getting through Starmie. Well, that Staryu was just 2 hits. It's amazing how different the strength is between Staryu and Starmie. And look at that, again we got very close. Very, very close. So I just need a little bit of luck to go my way as well. It's with Staryu giving us 400 experience, that's another good Pokemon to level up against. If you can't get through Starmie, you can just keep knocking off Staryu and you can grow your level a bit quicker. I think... Did I decide to give up here? Yeah, I decided to give up, and I think I may have actually forgotten that I hadn't actually battled the rival yet, but he doesn't fight fairly anyway. He uses Sand Attack, but even at level 38, I'm still taking a lot of damage because I got hit with Sand Attack. Look at that, even at level 38, Caterpie... Oh, it almost hit Charmander for 1 hit. And it missed. And Charmander used Growl. And I missed. Look at that, that is absolutely horrendous. Now, if I don't get hit by Sand Attack, Caterpie wins this match every time, but I just wanted to show, even at level 38, Caterpie can still lose to this rival, which is absolutely incredible. And there we go, this time, see? This time the rival was beaten easy. And of course, I have to be careful because Caterpie will want to evolve into Metapod. In theory, I could evolve with Caterpie and then do Metapod's run, so it at least has tackle, but where would be the fun in that? Let's start with a Metapod and just have Harden instead. I did try Metapod once, and I got to Cerulean City. I actually found out a little something. If I go past Pallet Town, and I go to Cerulean City, and I save in the Pokemon Center, the issue with Metapod is I actually got myself stuck because I couldn't train. I couldn't survive long enough against the wild Pokemon. Because Metapod only has Harden. When Metapod would get knocked out, I would go to Cerulean City's Pokemon Center, and I was stuck. I couldn't beat any of the trainers, and I couldn't level up against the wild Pokemon because they were knocking me off. I was struggling to get through any of them. So I actually need to not go to the Cerulean City Pokemon Center during Metapod and Kakuna's run. If I get knocked out, I'm going to have to go back to Pallet Town. Well, not Pallet Town, Pewter City. I have to go back to Pewter City and probably go through Mount Moon again. Which is actually quite... which is actually quite something. Metapod and Kakuna's run, they could almost take weeks alone. Not looking forward to them, but in the name of dedication, I will sure as hell try. Alright, we heal up again, and this time I go back in for Misty. We are at level 39. Can we defeat Starmie? With a Caterpie at level 39. Bubble Beam just does so much damage. But look at this, one level makes all the difference, and then I get pasted by Bubble Beam. It just isn't fair. Caterpie can win this match. It just needs to not take any damage against Staryu, which would be nice. That time I get hit by a Bubble Beam and a critical hit. But I was... Okay, so it was at this point that I gave up again. I was like, you know what, let's go to Bill instead. So Caterpie is nearly level 40. Now there is an Ether down there, and I may actually need them for the Elite Four, because with only 35 power points on Tackle, I actually need to get through the Elite Four, having enough moves to actually get Caterpie through. And the hiker says you worked hard. You better believe it, buddy. I did work hard to actually get through this game with a Caterpie. Blue found an elixir. So yes, there's a hidden ether down here as well, but I don't usually pick it up. As we get through the Nidorans, all of the trainers along here who have these Nidorans, and the kid with the Slowpoke that I used to encounter Mew. Now, I do believe that may have been an accident. I actually wanted to battle the trainer above because this guy has Geodudes. The other trainer does not. So he's actually a lot easier to battle. Level 40 for Caterpie. 2 hits on Machop. And that means I need to do Geodude in 4 hits. And believe it or not, I actually get it. My last PP of Tackle, and Caterpie actually got it. You got me. So can you believe it? Caterpie at level 40 is still struggling to get through the second gym. And this is at level 40. So now that was an accident. I accidentally walked in front of that trainer. You have to understand, by this time I was so fried because I did this in one sitting. I got to the start of Vermilion City where I decided to take a rest. And look at this. Caterpie finally does it. Level 40, it finally beats Misty. And this took so long. Because I have done a couple of cut edits when I was trying to grind up Caterpie's level. How long is the video in? 38 minutes, my word. My oh my. So you can just understand just how many... I think it was maybe like an hour and a half. And remember, I'm speeding up the game to absolute breakneck speed when I use the speed up toggle. Otherwise, these runs, they just wouldn't be possible. So, I mean, technically they would. They would just take a very long time. Now that again, that was by accident. But Caterpie actually gets through most of the other trainers' Pokemon pretty easily here. I mean, at level 40 before the second gym, or just after the second gym, after you've beaten it, is almost unheard of in Pokemon games. Like, whoever grinds this much to get to this level at the second gym city in a Pokemon game? Usually, you know, their Pokemon are usually only around the level 15s to 20s, 25s depending on the game. And yeah, believe it or not, I'm going to do this all again in Gen 2. Then Gen 3. I'll try and do it for Gen 4 as well. I'll try and do it for every Pokemon game, to be honest. But I can Just imagine doing it for Scarlet and Violet given the size of the world map. Alright, so I get through all these trainers pretty easily. Caterpie can't learn any moves other than tackle and string shot, so obviously the TM for dig isn't any good to me. Now, there is a full restore there. I usually do pick that up. Now, I get the feeling I ran into that trainer by accident. So, Caterpie got put to sleep, and that was it. I had to go all the way back to Cerulean City once again and walk the whole way through just to get to that trainer again, him and that Butterfree of his. It's not the first time I've run into that trainer either. It's very easy. And look at that, there's a Meowth. And, okay, I must have tried to battle him again. And this time I beat the Butterfree. I think I went in for revenge more than anything there, but now I'm paralyzed. Which means, and look at this, I can't even escape from that Bellsprout. I've got no choice but to heal. I do have that full restore, but I probably forgot that I had it. I mean, my brain kind of wasn't functioning properly after this, so what I do, I went and healed. Now, I thought I paused out the front of outside of Vermilion City. I know I paused outside of Vermilion City. There it is, Caterpie at level 40. And Pidgey at level 16. Caterpie still at level 40. I get through this guy here. Caterpie gets to level 41. And plays his Eradicate, or summons his Eradicate, whatever field you're from. He sends out Eradicate. Now, Eradicate can actually win. Believe it or not, if Eradicate uses Hyper Fang enough times, it will do enough damage to knock Caterpie out. But at level 41, Caterpie is finally into Vermilion City. Level 41 is what I needed to get to. Now, there would have been a cut edit somewhere. It was probably just very quick, but I did stop outside of this city. So this was on like day 2 or something when I was trying to finish this run, because I needed to take a break. It had taken me so long just to get here. And that's where I caught Spearow. I literally forgot to catch Spearow. Or was Caterpie too high of a level? I was knocking all the wild Spearow out. That may have been what was happening, but even at level 41, Caterpie can't one-shot like a level 15 Spearow. That's insane. That is actually insane. Okay, now something about the SSN. I did a video where I found all of the hidden items in Gen 1, or so I thought. When I did a double check, scour the internet, there was only one item that I missed in my video, and it was on the SSN. Someone actually put up a comment saying you missed a Hyper Potion in the SSN. I'm like, did I? I didn't know there was one on the SSN, and sure enough, in one of the rooms there's a Hyper Potion on one of the beds. I had no idea. To this day, I haven't actually played the game since I did this run, or Coughing's run, or since I've seen that comment. I haven't actually played the game, so still to this day, I've never picked that Hyper Potion up. It's in one of the rooms. I don't even know which room it is, but it's on one of the beds. And I was dumbfounded. I could not believe it. I have never, even scouring the internet before to make sure I collected everything, I've never seen that Hyper Potion come up in any lists. I ended up finding it on a website called Smogon or something, but I couldn't believe it. There was an item I did not know about, even though it's only a Hyper Potion, mind you, but I like to collect everything. Well, the only other item finder item that I haven't picked up is that nugget that's outside of the boundaries in the reception area for the Safari Zone. If you go straight to the right, to the bottom right that you can get to in that room, activate the item finder and it will register it's a nugget, but it's off screen. Even if you use a clip through walls, you can't get to it because the game will crash. It's Kadabra is defeated. I can't get past this Charmeleon. I have 7 HP. Level 41 onto level 42. I have only just, and by God, I mean just managed to defeat that rival. That's crazy. Like, that is absolutely crazy. Caterpie is evolving, and I don't want Caterpie to evolve. And Red says he hears there was a cut master on board, which is none other than that guy. So we are finally through, we can finally battle Surge at least. I traded for Farfetch so I could get cut. Caterpie shouldn't do too badly against Surge, or so I think. Or so I thought, I should say, in the past tense, as most of his Pokemon don't have a lot of defense. I thought Caterpie would be alright here. And, of course, a trash puzzle. I do believe I got it on first try on this. Well, I didn't find which one it was hidden under on first try. But, you know how it's random? 50-50, the one to the right, or the same one as it was there? Yes, I actually got it on first try. So, Lieutenant Surge throws in a Voltorb straight up, and believe it or not, Caterpie is actually faster than Voltorb, which is actually pretty funny, because Voltorbs are pretty quick. Alright, Pikachu is down, and now Raichu. And we're faster than Raichu as well. Raichu uses a Thunderbolt, drops my attack, and look at that. Thunderbolt, which Surge could win, but he would have to keep going for Thunderbolt. But Caterpie at level 42 lost more than half its health, but it managed to get through Surge. So obviously Caterpie can't learn Thunderbolt. Be nice if it could, but it can't. So the next step here was to head on to Rock Tunnel. And there is an issue with Rock Tunnel, and that is that hiker that is standing. He's not right near the exit, but he's close to it. We all know the hiker I'm talking about. He has Geodudes and Gravelers. How do I get through him? So we got to get to him first. Caterpie is poisoned, of course, which means I would have to go back to heal in Cerulean City. So there's not much to talk about until I sort of reach that hiker and you see how I got through him. So I don't really know what to talk about here, to be honest. Special shout out to Brad. I don't know how to say the last name though. Brad Loke or Brad Lauk or something. Watches all my solo runs and puts my watch time up as well. I mean, Brad, even if you have made it this far, if anyone has made it this far into watching Caterpie's run, like, fair play, because it's been close to an hour already, wouldn't it? 48 minutes. Roughly. Just over 48 minutes. Which, even on playback, I'm bored myself watching this run back. It's more the documentation, the accolade of doing Caterpie is more of what I was going for here. Otherwise, I guess I could have cut some of the training out, but how better than to watch me further deplete my sanity than to try and solo run a Pokemon game with a Caterpie. And look at that, I lost a Slowpoke. Of all the Pokemon to lose to, I lose to a Slowpoke. Like, bro, how do you lose to a Slowpoke? And that's when I thought, I better put Ducks in just in case I accidentally get myself past that hiker with it using self-destruct and having Ducks still in the party. So, yes, it is a goal to solo run every Pokemon. I never thought that I would be able to even solo run Pokemon to begin with. Luckily, I get out of Disable early there, because Slowpoke was ready to knock Caterpie out. Look at that, at level 42, look how much damage Caterpie took against a Slowpoke that was level, what level was it, 21? Something like that, 23? It was a real slog, but it's all here. No one can say that I never did a Caterpie run, that I was never dedicated to the cause of getting through every Pokemon in Gen 1. Alright, so there's another Slowpoke here, and this one's a little bit stronger than the other one as well, a little bit higher level. And Caterpie misses. I think that's a 1 in 256. Oh man, I might even have to run and get a new drink. Just getting through this run, watching it back, is something else as well. Because usually I do this live. I don't have to do pre-record, but I kind of have to for Caterpie because it takes so long to get through the run. But even just watching this back, I think to myself, how the hell did I even do this to begin with? Caterpie's poisoned, and I think at this point I just can't even be bothered to go back and heal it. I just want to see how much. Caterpie's at level 59. I think I wanted to see how much damage a self-destruct would do if Caterpie would survive on with, what's it got, 55 HP. What I also get out of that battle as well is I see how much Caterpie does with tackle. And obviously it's not a lot. Caterpie is probably going to have to survive 3 self-destructs. And Caterpie is not going to be able to do that. So I actually had a little bit of an ingenious plan to actually get through it. Now Caterpie, I have to make some exceptions to the rule with Caterpie. One is teaching it a move to get through the ghosts, of course. But the thing is with Caterpie, it's not technically against the rules to use items during battle. So the way I actually thought about was getting through this hiker, I think in some way was a little bit ingenious, but instead of trying to attack my way through Pokemon that Caterpie is just never going to attack through until it's probably like level 70 or something, I save up here and I actually have the idea I'll use the potions to restore my Caterpie's HP, because Caterpie should have enough HP and be at a high enough level. It should be able to survive a self-destruct from each one individually. And there it is. It's been hit by 1 self-destruct. It may not have been in this battle. It may have been in one of the next ones. But that Geodude kept using Rock Throw. It hit with Tackle, and I needed 1 more shot. Now, I know that I'm not going to survive self-destruct against Graveler. And I believe I used a Super Potion here. No, I don't. Oh, I did like nothing. Okay, maybe it was in the next battle. Like I said, again, I don't remember, but I think that was the idea that I had after this one. Was knowing, Caterpie is just never going to get through that battle. At level 43, when I usually play through this game, I never have a Pokemon this high level. It just isn't a thing at this stage of the game to even need a Pokemon to be this high of a level. Usually at this stage of the game, my Pokemon are around the mid-20s, early 30s. Usually by here, I've usually got Dugtrio, or maybe getting close to my starter, getting to its 3rd evolution, something like that, but... Get in there, Caterpie. Ah, good win. So, got hit by self-destruct there. No, again. How many times did I battle this hiker before I used... Because that's what I did in the end. I just ended up using a potion to give Caterpie its health back. I don't know how many times I actually battled this hiker. But as you say, Caterpie just can't do it. It can't get through even to some of the most basic of trainers, only with tackle and its dreadful stats. Just ain't enough, even at level 43. To put it into perspective, I'm pretty sure that Mewtwo had already finished the game this far in, but at level 43, I think Mewtwo was already up to Giovanni. Like 8th Gym Badge Giovanni. I don't remember what level my Mewtwo was, but it only took Mewtwo about 38 minutes to get through the game. Caterpie's already pushing on that hour, and it's not even at the 4th gym yet. There you go. I used a potion there. I gave Caterpie its HP back and got it to just tank the self-destruct. It's the only way that Caterpie was ever going to get through that match without being like level 70 or something. Probably not that. Maybe
Maybe around like level 50, mid 50s to 60, it probably could have done it, but you have to understand at this point I was just so tired, I just wanted to get through this cave. And look at this, Caterpie's asleep. Get through Pidgey, that's using Sand Attack, but I got through. We're finally through Rock Tunnel. And here we are, outside of Rock Tunnel. There's a Max Ether in there. I think I might have needed it. Well, at this stage of the game, I was thinking, do I need this for the Elite Four? I deposit it just in case, but I think I deposit a couple of items here. Although I'm not exactly why, I don't exactly know why I deposited those items. Because I pick up another elixir in here. Well, then again, you have to understand I was tired. My brain wasn't functioning. It had been a while since I did a solo run before this as well, which also took into account. So we go into the to what is rival battle. Technically, it's number 4. There's the one at the start, the next one by Viridian. A third one, no, it's a 5th. A third one in Cerulean, 4th one on the boat, and now the 5th, this one here. And look at that, Gyarados, level 22, uses Hydro Pump. Gyarados can't even learn Hydro Pump at level 22. I don't think there's not even a TM in the game to give Gyarados Hydro Pump at level 22, so how the rivals Gyarados got it that early is a mystery, cheating mystery by the rival, but I think I'm not going to beat the rival here, so I decided to just move on. I thought Caterpie would be okay against Erica because bugs resist grass. That was my thought process. Caterpie's burnt. But look at that, level 44, and look at its stats. What stats? It doesn't even have any stats. Oh, is this the run? It was either this one or Coughing's run. I think it might have been this one. No, actually it might have been Coughing's. I almost broke the game. I did the Mew glitch, but I did it with one of the channelers, and some weird stuff happened in this route. Where instead of getting a Pokemon to appear, I had a trainer battle, and the game started to lag whenever I was on that route where that trainer is. I don't remember if it was this one or Coughing. I think it might have been Coughing's run, actually, that I did that on. That'll be coming out soon as well after this one. I'll do Coughing's run, put that together, and then I want an easier run to do. I think I might do some of the water Pokemon. Might try and give me a bit of an easier time. Might be able to do a run in like less than 2 hours at least. Maybe around like the hour 10 mark with some of the pre-evolved water types. Well, far better than a Caterpie, that's for sure. Alright. Now, did I go to Erica first here? No, did I go to Saffron? I must have gone to Saffron. Or did I go to the Karate Master first? I might have gone to the Karate Master. Again, with the impression that the bug Pokemon would be good against the fighting types. Karate Chop's a normal type move in Gen 1, by the way. For those that didn't know that, and I only just get through that Primeape. But yes, in Gen 1, Karate Chop is actually a normal move. It's not a fighting move. I think it was changed after Gen 1. I think in Gen 2 it's a fighting move. Actually, I'm sure it is because I used a traded Mudchop to evolve into a Machoke, and then I usually beat Whitney. That's the easiest way to beat Whitney. Trade the Mudchop in the Goldenrod game corner. No, it's not in the game corner. Where is it? It's in the Pokemart on the 5th or 6th floor. As you see, there we go. I got booted by Hitmonlee. I'm level 44 and Hitmonlee kicked me to the moon. But yes, that's the easiest way to beat Whitney. Trade the Abra for the Mudchop, evolve it into a Machoke, and it's traded experience so it grows faster. And then beat Whitney with that traded Mudchop. It's called Muscle, its nickname. Get through Whitney in pretty much 2 hits. And Rollout does nothing to you because fighting Pokemon resist rock moves. So that's how you can get through Whitney very easily in Gen 2. Although all of us struggled with Whitney. All of us did. Alright, so now that I've got Farfetch with Fly, I will admit at this point I was just thinking, what can I possibly do to make this run either, I don't know, what, speed up or something. Is this where I decided to train? It might be. I'm in Diglett Cave. This must have been where I did some level grinding. So Caterpie's at level 44 here. And you see, Dig didn't actually do that much damage. If you get Dugtrio, you can get up to 600 experience. So there's probably going to be a cut edit soon, but the Diglett also give you 200. They're weak. You can knock them out in one hit, and yeah, it looks like this is where I did the cut edit. Oh, yep, there it is. So basically what I did, I've just cut there just to single out a little bit of the grinding. Caterpie is now at level 50. And would you believe it? Look at its stats. That is absolutely dreadful. Its defense and its special are at 52. It's at level 50. You got to admit, that's pretty crazy. Like, on my playback, I know I have my own music playing over the back of this because speeding the game up also jumbles all the in-game music as well. But Celadon City's theme was always a fun one. Alright, so now I do believe, I did have in my mind that Erica probably wasn't going to be that difficult because she's a bug trainer. Right? That should be reasonable. Right? Erica shouldn't be that difficult. I mean, I'm a bug type, I resist her grass moves, so she shouldn't be that difficult, right? I mean, I'm not at full health, but that didn't affect Caterpie. So Caterpie should get through this. Okay, Caterpie's poisoned. Okay. Victory Bell used Wrap. And while being poisoned, that is such a broken combination, Wrap and Poison, because Poison will still take its shot at you, even though you're immobilized by Wrap. Wrap's immobilization ability was taken off after Gen 1 because it was just too broken. But look at that. I couldn't even beat Erica. I didn't even get to a Vileplume. Which means I may have to level up a bit just to beat Erica. I'm at level 50. At level 50, I still cannot get past Erica. And let me tell you, Giovanni is not any easier. He's got rock types. And he's got some Pokemon that can just boot me around. So, even at level 50, this struggled. I do believe it was at this point where I was just thinking, what do I possibly have to do to get through this? And as soon as I get past Giovanni, then it's then I have to give Caterpie Leech Life so I can get through the ghost types. So as we made our way through the Celadon Game Corner, so yeah, I'm getting closer. I think I maybe like, I could actually tell you because I've got them all in the playlist. How many solo runs have I done? The amount of solo runs I have done is playlist, just give me a second. I've got 97 in the playlist, so this would have been number 98. Coughing would have been number 99, so the next one I'll do will be Voltorb to make it to number 100. And then there's just 51 left. 52 if you count missing, no, if I end up doing that as well. But nearly 2/3 of the way there on this journey to, I guess, to be a master, a Pokemon master. You have to catch them all. You have to win with them all. I don't know. I don't know why I do some of the things I do. A lot of the people I know don't know why I do some of the things I do sometimes. Get on that Charbok. Alright, so we're up to Giovanni. And I actually forget that this trainer's there. And I didn't heal Caterpie. Caterpie gets knocked out. I get to level 51, but I can't get through this coughing. I almost did though. Caterpie almost got through it and then ducks came out. But, yeah. Now, the first battle against Giovanni is about to take place. Or is it? No? I decided to go back to Erica. I'm level 51. I'm one level higher. Again, I don't even script this. I'm just watching this back. It's... When I actually did this run, it was a little while ago. I've forgotten what I did, how I went about it. So I'm almost watching this back for the first time as well. And look at this, poisoned and wrapped. I get the Tangler this time. The Tangler just does too much damage. Tangler's also got really good physical defense, so it's resisting my tackle attack as well. Tangler's got a really bad moveset, but it does have good physical defense. It's the only thing it's really got going for it, but still do need to do Tangler at some stage as well. Imagine doing all the 151 again in Gen 2. Gen 2's... Is Gen 2 harder? It takes more time because there's the post-game of Kanto, and I even stepped on the wrong tile there as well. There's a post-game of Kanto, and then there's Red. It's defeating Red that takes a long time. Otherwise, most of the runs, I've beaten the Elite Four within like maybe the first hour or so. Getting through the post-game doesn't take that long. It only takes maybe another 20, 25 minutes. Then it takes about half an hour to get through Red because I have to level up so much. Because the whole game, the top level of the gym leader's Pokemon is when you're facing Blue, and I don't think any of them are above level 60. Then suddenly you find Red, and his Pokemon are in the high 70s, and then it's just like, whoa, where did that level curve come from? Now, I still haven't beaten Karate Master. Did I go after Karate Master here? I did. I went after the Karate Master. Remember when you booted my Caterpie in the last match? Rolling Kick. Not very effective. Let's see if Caterpie can get it done this time. Look how much health I lose to Hitmonlee. Level 37. Caterpie is level 52, 51, 52, whatever it is. And I can't get past that freaking Hitmonlee. And, oh, okay, cut edit. I must have grinded again. I think I got to level 70 here. I did. I got Caterpie to level 70. And its stats are still dreadful. But I've got more HP now, and I figured I have to. I'm going to have to level Caterpie up to 100 anyway, but I thought to actually get Caterpie through this section of the game, I'm going to have to be some stupid level. And another cut edit. Okay, now, it may have been after this battle. Or there may have been another trainer battle or something. I remember it was somewhere around here. I leveled Caterpie up and I hit the speed up and evolved into Metapod. But I didn't have to... I think I saved after my grinding. I didn't actually lose any progress, which was a good thing because grinding Caterpie up. But at level 70, that's where Caterpie actually finally got the job done and actually managed to beat Erica. In fact, it might have actually been... I think it might have been after I beat... Oh no, it couldn't have been. Caterpie didn't level up. It was sometime that cut edit, I leveled Caterpie up and I evolved it. But alright, level 70, can you get past that Hitmonlee now? Or level 70 may have been a bit extreme, but you have to understand Caterpie has just been such a horrendous run. I thought I had no choice. I thought I would have had to have leveled this thing up. Look at that, level 70, it still only just gets through Karate Master. Karate Master's usually a pushover. In fact, I could probably count on one hand the amount of times I've actually lost to him. Which says a lot about Caterpie. And, was that a cut edit again? I think I did do a couple of cut edits here. I think I was just trying to speed things up just a little bit. There was ended up being a lot of different raw video files and I spliced them together, so a little bit of cut editing here, but Caterpie's still level 70.
And there it is. So Giovanni is beaten. It took me to level 70, and still Caterpie only really just got the job done. It wasn't by much. But the good thing is now I can finally go over to the Ghost Tower, which, of course, I will need to... this is where Caterpie's run officially comes to an end, because I can't get through... Oh, that's right. I think that was my reaction when I came here as well. I actually forgot to battle that rival. And even at level 70 and his Pokemon in the 20s, I still can't one-shot them with Tackle. That's actually crazy. I'm 50 levels higher, just about 50 levels higher, and I still cannot one-shot them, except Kadabra. That is how dreadful Caterpie is. It cannot one-shot Pokemon 50 levels higher than it. So at level 71 now. And after this, this is where the run basically falls apart. I can't get past the channelers. So I have to give Caterpie Leech Life. Now, I did actually... what was I doing? What in the world was I doing here? Okay, there was a cut edit. I must have just been going mad at that point. I don't even want to think about doing this in Gen 2, because Gen 2 will probably be... actually, Gen 2 I can use Struggle, at least for the Ghost. It's Caterpie, and it's still level 71. Okay, I cut edit here. I'm proving a point here, because a lot of people go, you can hit Ghosts in Gen 1 with Struggle. No, you can't. And this was my video evidence for it. So I did that just to prove a point. Alright, so level 71, and this is where I've given Caterpie Leech Life. I have no choice, otherwise I can't get through this trainer. It soft locks the game. So Caterpie, using Leech Life though, basically one-shots the Ghosts. It is the most likely move that Caterpie would learn from any argument, unless anyone else would like to argue a better move that Caterpie, in theory, should be able to learn. It's a bug-type move, and it means, Caterpie probably uses a Leech Life technique to get food out of a tree. So use a healing pad, get Caterpie up back to its max health. Get by all the Ghosts, and we'll get to Mr. Fuji soon. Now, I am commentating this non-stop, but I actually, I've just drunk a whole can of creaming soda and Nature Calls. I'm literally just going to let it run. Here's the battle with Mama Marowak and the rest of the Rockets coming up as well. I think I went to Silphco after this as well. Okay, I am back. I I had to pee. I got a new can of creaming soda while I was at it. Did I miss anything good? Where are we? Juggler. That'd be Koga's gym, wouldn't it? So, well, we would have got the poker flute. Now, the funny thing is, okay, we're at Koga. Is this first? Yeah, it would be. Koga obviously was not easy. He has poison Pokemon. They're all very high in defense. They can poison me. Like, Caterpie just can't win. Like, Caterpie literally cannot win against Koga. I tried a couple of times, but I knew that Caterpie just was completely outmatched. So now, if I use Leech Life, I'd probably one-shot them, because bug moves are good against poison. However, did I go through... do I go through Safari Zone here, do I? Yeah, now if you go to the bottom right of that room and you use the item finder, you will actually get it to register, and there's a nugget, but you can't get it. Now, I can't believe how long this run took me. I'm getting hungry just sitting here. So I won't chew into the microphone, but I am eating Oreos right now while I watch this as well. Okay. So we got the HM for Surf. What did I do? I got Ducky Boy back out. Where did I fly to? Well, I beat Erica, didn't I? I still got my rare candy. Okay, so I must have decided to do a bag drop here. Sell all my TMs. Okay, so what I did here, I sold those items and I started buying X accuracy and X attacks and whatnot. The reason why I did this is because Caterpie's going to need these later in the game to actually be able to defeat the Elite Four. So I started spending some of my money on these because I know I'm going to need them for later on. This is the only way to get Caterpie through the Elite Four. You have to use these X items. It exploits a little thing in this game called Badge Boost. It gives you a 12.5% every time you modify your stats. During a battle with either anything can do it. You can modify your own stats using like a move like Meditate or Double Team example. I'm just trying to think of what moves actually do it. But all those X items, they do the same effect as well. Back to Saffron? No. Back to Fuchsia City. I don't remember. Which one? Now, I don't know if there was any attempts on the rival before when I was off getting my new drink and going to the bathroom, but... Or did I just not remember that I needed the card key at this spot? No, I haven't done any attempts on it yet. I actually thought the rival wouldn't be too bad, but I was probably wrong about that too. So what do I do here? We got the card key, we broke open all the locks. And then I went up against this Drowsy. The move is disabled. I don't use Leech Life unless it's against Ghosts. That's the only rule that I really have. I have to use Tackle. If the other Pokemon can get damaged by Tackle, I have to use Tackle. Sorry, I got an Oreo in my mouth. So, first attempt at the rival battle, and look how well it went. I'm level 72, and I got absolutely destroyed. Absolutely and utterly destroyed is what I got. And it was at this point I was thinking, what the hell do I have to do to get Caterpie through this? So I went to Vermilion City. Is this where I grinded up the rest of the levels? It may have just been, I think my brain was a bit frazzed at this point, but here we go. So I went down here. Yeah, I went into the grass here. This is where, this isn't actually too bad for a training spot. You can battle all the trainers as well if you want, but I showed it in this. You can battle Fearos and stuff here, and they give you out 500 points. It's not a bad training spot. And I'm guessing that, yes, there we go, cut edit. This is a stage of the game where I decided to get Caterpie to level 100. I thought it is time, let's just do it. And that, as you see, its final stats. That is as strong as this Caterpie. It's as strong as this bug's going to get. So at level 100, Caterpie has no more strength to gain. I knew I was going to have to get to level 100 eventually. I thought might as well just make it now. This run has gone on for long enough and it must end. Caterpie is poisoned against muck. And it just needs to get through wheezing. It uses smog. If it uses anything else, if it used self-destruct, I might have survived it earlier. Alright, 2 shots on coughing, 3 shots on muck, 2 shots on coughing. Hey! And tackle on wheezing. Level 100, it wasn't too difficult, but Caterpie still lost half its health. Right. And I lost the last match. It's absolutely amazing how weak Caterpie is. That's why, I think another reason why I decided to keep this whole run in is just so you could appreciate just how weak Caterpie is. How bad it is as a solo run. Alright, I was probably buying more X-Attack items here. You'll probably see me go back to Celadon's Mark quite often. Gaining up those X items for later on in the game. Okay, so what was next here? Fly, so did I still need to beat Sabrina and the rival, don't I? Probably. Well, I mean, I need to beat the rival before I can beat Sabrina anyway. Now, one trainer I was anticipating to be difficult was Blaine. Obviously, fire-type moves, Fire Blast, even at level 100, Caterpie is just going to get absolutely cooked. Down goes Execute. Alakazam in one hit. It was a critical hit, but it probably still would have been a one-shot anyway. Alakazam's got really poor defense. Hey, Caterpie just, and by God, I mean only just, managed to get through that rival. Even at level 100, it only just got through that rival. So obviously I need to heal before I face Giovanni. And there it is. So now we can take on Giovanni for the first time. Even at level 100, he's probably going to be tough. Nidorino in 2 hits, Kangaskhan in 2 or 3, whatever it was. Rhyhorn takes 4 tackles at level 100. And look at that, I only just, and again, by God, only just managed to get through that Nidoqueen. This is at level 100, man. Like, there should be one-shots from here. Literally all of Giovanni's Pokemon, any other Pokemon that isn't useless is one-shotting that battle. But with Giovanni done, what Caterpie ended up fainting from the poison, but there we go. Lapras can now get us to Cinnabar Island. And what again here, I went after more X items because I'm convinced that Caterpie is probably going to. I got so wrapped up in the training as well, I actually forgot to use all the rare candies. I legitimately did. I actually forgot to use the rare candies. Well, I got to like level 97, then I was like, wait, hang on. I have rare candy. What am I doing? I had like 5 of them. I used 3. And sell them for more money to make the X items. Alright, what did we do here? Well, with the rival beaten, I can now fight Sabrina. I actually thought Sabrina shouldn't be too hard because her Pokemon don't have good physical defense. I should be able to one-shot all of her Pokemon just about with Caterpie, right? It should be an easy battle. One shot on Kadabra. 2 shots on Mr. Mime. Venomoth poisons me, but Alakazam 2 shots. Sabrina, admittedly, is the easiest battle so far, but I'm level 100, so, I mean, I had no choice. I had to get to that level just to beat the rival. Which means now it is time to go and visit Blaine on Cinnabar Island. I probably could have done more to try and cut these out, buying all these X items, but I had no choice. I was so tired, I just wanted this run to be over. Even when I was splicing all the videos together, I was like, oh, what have I done? Plenty of X speed, it only takes a second or 2, I guess. And now we get to go over to Blaine. So Blaine, obviously, with his fire types, they're going to be an issue. If Caterpie gets hit by Fire Blast, it's just going to get cooked in one shot. It was at this part of the game where battle items sort of become a necessity to actually get through. There's tentacles. Tentacles should actually be okay. And that's right, I need repels. Well, I don't need them, but I'd like them. I ended up selling that full restore for it. Just to get me the repels to keep the wild Pokemon away in Cinnabar's mansion. I spent it all on those items. Oh, there goes Toxic. I need an escape rope as well. And max potions. Alrighty. Off to the Cinnabar mansion. With all the little info about Mew. You think Mew would have steamrolled the game, but it only started with Pound up until Mew. It was just a learn set. Mew's strong enough. There's no doubt about that. But even in Gen 2, Mew's learn set's still the same. Learns a move every 10 levels, and it's like the same moves as well from Gen 1. So Mew technically will be a little bit worse in Gen 2 because the TMs in Gen 1 are a lot better than Gen 2's. Bro, Gen 2's TMs are shocking. They are so bad. Mew can learn every move though, so... Alright, so after digging all the way back to Celadon City, I had to fly back to Cinnabar.
And now it's time to take on Blaine. Caterpie evolves into Butterfree. Well, technically Caterpie evolves into Metapod, but that's okay. And there we go. We're one door away from Blaine. And here he is. Someone told me this match was impossible. This match is not impossible. So now Arcanine can miss that Fire Blast. Someone, when I posted this on a Pokemon group, someone said that this match was impossible for Caterpie to win. And I was like, okay, Caterpie's also got 49 PP on tackle. I used the PP ups on its tackle. Now look at this. If I don't get that Fire Spin... Now Fire Spin's not a 100% accurate move either. Blaine will also use Super Potions on his fully health Pokemon. Now, Fire Blast hit me with a critical hit there. It probably still would have knocked me out, but I was determined to make sure that this battle was not impossible. Like that person on the internet said, I was going to prove them wrong. One shot, Arcanine's attack missed. Caterpie hits. Arcanine, I don't know what happened there. It missed again, and Caterpie wins, and without battle items. I knew that battle was not impossible, and I was determined to prove it. Caterpie, at level 100, can defeat Blaine without any assistance. With just tackle, it can be done. So the next match will be Giovanni, and Giovanni, he was quite tough. Now I did cut at it. I think I turned the game off. I think I took a bit of a rest after Blaine's gym. I was like, I'll come back to Giovanni in the Elite Four after. But again, I have to go to. I have to spend my money because remember, if you lose battles, you lose half your money. So I had to keep spending all my money on the X items as I knew that they were going to be needed for the Elite Four. And by now my brain is still fried. That's why I tried to buy more items than what I had money. But with just Giovanni left. How many minutes is this video in? An hour and 34 minutes. It's about half an hour left. And man, if anyone made it this far, man, fair play. But this had to be documented. The journey of doing Gem 1 with just a Caterpie, it had to be documented. Alright, Caterpie defeats that trainer in Giovanni's gym. Giovanni himself, he's got... What does he start off with? He starts off with Rhyhorn, I think, from memory. Then he has Dugtrio. Then he's got Nidoqueen, or Nidoking. Then he's got Rhydon, and then he's got the other one, Nidoqueen or King. Now, the issue with Caterpie, it does nothing against Rhydon. Literally nothing. Tackle knocks out Dugtrio on one hit, as Dugtrio's got pretty poor defense. Now, there's Caterpie's stats again. We have seen them already, but Tackle... Caterpie is now poisoned. Tackle... Now, Nidoking... Oh, Rhydon's last. Now, Caterpie actually gets to Rhydon,
But Caterpie doesn't do a lot of damage against Rhydon, and then Rhydon uses Stomp or something like that, so Caterpie wasn't actually that far off. Now, I deposit all the other Pokemon here because I didn't want to have to keep knocking them out as well. So, believe it or not, Giovanni is actually very close to being beaten already. If I used a full restore or something, Caterpie would actually get over Rhydon. Rhyhorn is down. Dugtrio is down. Nidoqueen is down, and I'm not poisoned, but I get poisoned against Nidoking. And even if I'm not poisoned, it looks like Caterpie can't actually get through Rhydon. Rhydon just does too much damage. Caterpie just takes too many hits. Up until then, I think I might have tried a couple more times. But I do believe I might have used a battle item or two to get through Giovanni. Alright, Rhydon's down. Dugtrio's down. Caterpie misses and gets poisoned. Gets rid of Nidoking. If I used a full restore, Caterpie might win. Might. Oh yeah. I grabbed the antidote out the tree. I'm prepared this time for Giovanni's poison. So this time I'm ready for Giovanni's poison. Caterpie lost some attack there as well. Dugtrio used Growl. Caterpie doesn't get poisoned. And again, look here, Caterpie doesn't get poisoned. So the time I finally decide to pick that antidote up, Caterpie doesn't get poisoned, but it can't get past Rhydon. So what does Caterpie do? Does it just keep trying and keep failing? Right, Dugtrio's down, Nidoqueen's down. We're still not poisoned, and we got a little bit more HP than last time. So, because Caterpie's faster, it can't get hit by Horn Drill. And look at this, Caterpie won, and it did it without battle items. Only just, and it had to get lucky, but Giovanni and Blaine technically are both possible with a Caterpie at level 100 just using Tackle. Technically, Caterpie can do it. It can win. It can win all 8 gym badges at level 100. I mean, it can't beat the ghosts. That's all it can't beat, but it can beat the gyms. It can't get through the Elite Four. I already knew that, but... And we get through the rivals Pidgeot. There is another rival battle here as well, as we know. We get through Rhyhorn. We get through Execute, but we're poisoned. Gyarados does a lot of damage. We get to Alakazam, which is going to last 2 turns. We didn't even get to Charizard, and we got knocked out. Get rid of Pidgeot, sorry. And now Rhyhorn, 134 HP. We get poisoned again. Gyarados. Look at that. This time we don't even get past Gyarados. And it was at this point where I realized, well, this is where Caterpie won't be able to get through this rival battle on its own without having to use some of these X items, I don't think. Or I'd have to heal it. At 103 HP. Get through Execute. Get through Gyarados that time. But we don't get through Alakazam. So, look at this. I do a save here. The good thing is I don't have to worry about Caterpie evolving anymore as well. Hold items weren't a thing in Gen 1, so I couldn't just equip an Everstone. Alright, so... Caterpie now. There goes Rhyhorn. There goes Execute.
And in the end, I tried a few times, but Caterpie it either can't get the luck. If it does get lucky, it gets to Alakazam. I don't know how long it was until I just started using battle items. I did another save here. I think this is where I might have gone to use battle items. Otherwise, Caterpie just can't do it. It can't get past this rival battle. Yeah, here it is. So no, I decided not to do it against Caterpie. I think I wanted to do it against Caterpie's poison. When did I do it? Maybe I was just going insane as well. What did I do here? I deposited some items. I've got another elixir in the PC as well. I deposited one earlier. I think I probably forgot about it when I was doing the actual run itself. Okay, so here it is. I think this is where I decided to go for the X items. Going for it against Pidgeot is not the best idea because I am super effective. Pidgeot, but now tackle. Get rid of Execute. Get rid of Gyarados. Get rid of Alakazam in one hit. Charizard. It's going to be 2 hits. I'm poisoned. Charizard goes for Flamethrower, and then I was very, very sad. But that is the only way that I'm going to get through that rival battle. I'm going to have to use X attacks or defend. Or I'm going to have to heal. Look at that. I buy a Hyper Potion. I had no choice. I couldn't defeat the rival unless I used battle items. So that answers all the questions about Caterpie. How far can it actually go in Gen 1? It can go up to Lavender Town and the Ghosts until where its run officially comes to an end. If you let it so I can get through the Ghosts, this is where a level 100 Caterpie can go to before it just can't win. It just can't win this battle without external help. Again, I don't know why I didn't just set up against Rhydon. Again, my brain was absolutely fried. I didn't know what I was doing at this stage. I use Hyper Potion. I get back to almost full health. One shot on Pidgeot. So what's happening here? Because Caterpie's stats are being modified, because I have all 8 badges, you know, when it says the attack bearer's strength goes up or your defense increases, whatever, because you have this badge. Every time your stats are modified in game, there's a glitch in this which will actually add 12.5% whenever your stats are modified. And thing is, this just keeps stacking. So the more X attack items I use, or X defend or whatever, all the other stats raise by 12.5%. So I can just use these X items and just make Caterpie's stats keep stacking up 12.5% every time. So Caterpie ends up with a stat line of probably like 400 on each stat or something crazy like that. That's why I can then go through and just tackle and just get rid of the whole team. Again, this is the only way that Caterpie can win the Elite Four as well, which we will soon see. But of course we need to get to the Elite Four first, don't we? Which means we still have to go through Victory Road. And again, I wasn't going to cut any more of this out. I was just going to cut out some of the grinding, some of the really long grinding. So the whole document thing is here so we can watch Caterpie go through this run as much as it can. Alright, so Victory Road, and I will admit I am chowing down while I watch this as well. I can't believe that I actually spent this long on this run.
The video itself was 2 hours with all the grinding cut. I don't even know how long this took in the end. Well, the video says 17.5 minutes left, so it wouldn't have been much longer before I finally get through here and get through to the Elite Four. Now, I didn't spend a lot of time on the Elite Four. I knew that I would have had to have used the X, attack and defends and whatnot to actually get through the Elite Four. So I didn't really waste any time. I think I might have tried to battle Lorelei legitimately, and Caterpie just couldn't get through. It just couldn't get through her. It just isn't physically strong enough. So goodbye to Ducks, goodbye to Lapras. So here is how a legitimate battle goes against Lorelei. So Caterpie with tackle, it's going to take 3 hits. Dugong goes for rest. We'll go for rest a few times. Oh, there we go. So now Cloyster. Cloyster's got really good physical defense, so it takes a lot of tackles. And look at that, Caterpie can't get past Cloyster on its own. That is actually insane. Yep, look at that. Can't even get through Cloyster. So I realise here that that Caterpie's got no chance, and I think I went back to Celadon one last time because you can't actually buy those X accuracy things and all that around anywhere else. So there we go, another cut edit, so I must have come back. I still had Ducks in the party. Oh my god, look at those stats, they're so bad. But I went back and I've stocked up on the X's and I got full restores. There's some ways you can do it. You can go around, you can battle. Do I still have Ducks in the party? I did. You can catch a Meowth, you can use Payday in this. There was plenty of trainers around the world map that I hadn't battled as well. There's items all around the field, you can collect them up, you can sell them, but I ended up just getting 38 full restores, getting all the X items and stuff, like all that in. And well, this is how it had to be. It had to be using all these items against Dugong, which usually only goes for rest. So look at that, I put Caterpie's attack up however much I possibly can. And then I get a miss as well. So Caterpie with X accuracy, it should never actually miss. Now look at that, 2 shots on Cloyster, 2 hits on Slowbro, it's 1 shot on Jinx. Lapras paralyzed me, but that's okay. There we go, we're through Lorelei. We needed a lot of battle items, but Caterpie is finally through it. The whole Elite Four thing only says 13 minutes on the video, considering how long it took me about 13 minutes just to get through freaking Brock at the start, but hey. All in a day's work. Well, it actually took longer than a day. My creaming soda. Come on. Trying to open a can with one hand is not easy. There we go. I think I've talked as much right now as I've ever talked at one small period in my life at all. Come on, Caterpie. Caterpie gets through Onyx. It one-shots Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. Gets through the other Onyx. And one-shots Machamp. Now, we have Agatha to get through now. Agatha is just not a nice trainer. She's mean. And look at that. Look how little Leech Life did against Gengar. That is scary. So literally, I have to keep going for either what are they? Full restores or using these X items to keep boosting Caterpie's stats. Because what I didn't actually realize is that Haze actually deletes them all. I didn't actually realize that until it finally clicked. Oh, hang on, Haze. Yeah, that's what Haze does. And at this point, I'm just like, oh, I just want this to be over. But look at that, Haunter. Again, I'm only using Tackle. I'm only using Leech Life on the Ghosts. I'm not using it on Arbok. I'm not using it on Golbat. Just the Ghosts. And Caterpie needs a full restore, would you believe it? So, yes, technically Caterpie cannot win the Elite Four. It just isn't strong enough. You have to keep using these items to unfairly boost all of Caterpie's stats, but that's just the way it has to be with a Pokemon this bad. Look how much Acid did. And look at that. Acid did so much damage. Oh, actually, something... I remember now. Something happened here. I went up against Haunter. Haunter used Confuse Ray. Caterpie hit itself in Confusion and absolutely murdered itself. And at this point, I was like, what in the hell just happened? Why did Caterpie do that much damage against itself in Confusion? I think Caterpie got some defense drops from Arbok using Acid or something. Something went wrong there with the game's ability to calculate because Caterpie did so much damage to itself. Did I end up taking Ducks out? Did I fly all the way back to Celadon again? I had to, didn't I? I had to fly back to replenish what I'd lost. I probably could have just reloaded the save, to be honest. You got to understand, at this point, my brain it isn't functioning anymore when I'm doing this run. I don't know why they don't have those items at the Elite Four. I only have them in Celadon, which is weird. It's weird and it's annoying, but it is what it is. So, what did I do here? I took another deep breath in, deep breath out, and what did we do? Did we go for it again here? I didn't put Ducks in the box, did I? So for all those wondering, I do believe this is where the Elite Four run actually was successful. Because I spent most of it just using these X items and boosting Caterpie up. Getting it a full restore, doing whatnot. And so I was going to force this bug to win the Elite Four no matter what. Boom. There goes Dugong. Boom, there goes Cloyster. Get rid of Slowbro. Get rid of Jinx, and now Lapras. Alrighty, off to Bruno. And man, I tell you what, by this stage of the run, I just wanted it to be over. So literally, you have to do this every battle. You have to just boost all of... I mean, the other trainers use them. Technically, I'm not breaking any rules. But,
boost up Caterpie, get its strength all up. Onyx can't really do anything else. I just heal Caterpie whenever it needs it. And look how little it does. Even with all those items, it still does so little damage. But there we go, we're through. Get rid of Hitmonchan. Oh, if Hitmonchan used counter there, that would have knocked Caterpie out. I must not have used that many X attacks. I maybe thought I didn't need to. But we're at Agatha again. And I'm ready for her this time. I'm ready for Golbat and Haze. Because Haze doesn't... Haze resets all the stats. Now I'm confused. So now when you're confused in this game, you have to plan. If you're doing a strategy like this, you actually have to plan. Because like... If Golbat just used Haze, that got rid of those 2 battle items that were used, so I just have to spam attack and just hope for the best. Against Gengar though, I have to set up. I have to use all of these items to boost Caterpie up. So just random ones, all of them. If it's not the X attack, it gives your attack another 12.5, so if you use an X defend, your attack stat gets that 12.5% boost. And look at that, Caterpie could have been knocked out like 3 times against Haunter. Like, this is such an illegitimate win. I'm using so many battle items just to get this freaking Caterpie past this Elite Four. Alright, in goes Gengar. Tackle on Arbok, tackle on Arbok. And last one, finish off. Oh, there's still 2 of them. Oh my word. Caterpie's confused. Knock it down, Caterpie. That won't have any effect. I'm full health. Dude, my brain was fried. I was barely thinking at this stage. There's Toxic, that's fine. Just knock it out, Caterpie. Wow, I was really like, I am not losing another battle. Hurt and Confusion again, and a Nightshade. How many full restores have I used in this match? I was determined not to get knocked out. Super Potion, Caterpie, it's just doing nothing. Oh, and finally, man, Leech Life doesn't even help that much. But there we go, Caterpie under no circumstance can ever defeat Agatha. We're now up to Lance for the first time. Still with 20 full restore, so we should be able to get through him at least. Alright, Lancey boy, let's play. Caterpie's defense rose. X special. There's Leer. That will lower my defense, but it will raise everything else as well. Leer will do the same thing. I believe that was a Hyper Beam. It was. So X defense. If Gyarados hits a if Gyarados hit a critical hit, I would probably get knocked out. I'd be get very close to it. Oh, I have no tackle PP. And another elixir. I have an elixir in the box. But Caterpie, there we go, gets through Gyarados. Now against the Dragonair, I set up some X attacks to get Caterpie's strength up. Tackle one shot. Tackle one shot. It's going to be 3 on Aerodactyl, which hits me with a Hyper Beam. But Dragonite is 2 with all the X attacks. Still not even one-shotting, which is insane. But Caterpie is level 100. There's an elixir. I used 2 of them. Now, I save here. I never do this in any other runs, but you have to understand at this stage, I was so over this run. I was not going to get back to this spot again. So this run, it had to end here. There's X defend. And does Pidgeot knock me out here? I think it hits a critical hit. It does. Critical hit. One-shot Caterpie at level 100. So I know some people will say, oh, you saved during the Elite Four. Come on, we have to give Caterpie some sort of break. It's just so weak and so bad. Caterpie is not supposed to be doing this. We have to give it some sort of break. We have to give it some sort of... we have to look the other way for old Caterpie because It's just so bad. So I decided not to set up against Pidgeot. If it's going to be able to one-shot me with Sky Attack, I have to knock it out as quickly as I can. Forestall. Look how much Wing Attack did. Like, Wing Attack's not even that strong. I think it's like base 35 or something. It's not even a strong move. Alright, I use X Special. Alakazam again went for Reflect. And then Psybeam, which is doing nothing because I'm raising Caterpie's Special with X Special. I think I might have even used like 6 of all of them on this. Which would have given Caterpie such an insane stat line, because every time one gets used, Caterpie's stats are raising by 12.5%. So I don't know how many X items that I used exactly in this battle, but it was not a small amount. And I still don't even one-shot Alakazam. See, now that is just madness. X attack, X attack, X defend, X defend, tackle. Look how little it does, even still to ride on. And look, X attacks aren't even doing anything. I can't raise Caterpie's attack any higher. So Caterpie's stat line right now would just be insane. Exeggutor. I use X defend. It goes for stomp. I use X defend. I was so determined. Like, Caterpie's stats right now, they must be insane, because 12.5% every time one of these are used for all the stats, except for the one that I'm actually raising itself. Caterpie's like, I'm just absolutely juicing Caterpie up to the point where it can one-shot all of the rivals' Pokemon in one hit. I know it's not the most legitimate way to win. Technically, I'm not breaking any rules, but Caterpie can't do it any other way than for you to just absolutely juice the hell out of it with every axe item and keep using Forestors. This run was absolutely horrible. This is one of the worst things I've ever done. In no way, shape or form was this fun ever run, but look, Caterpie is done. It can't do it legitimately to begin with, but it's done. It's over. Wow. Caterpie, you still have lots to do. Look for more Pokemon in grassy areas. I just won the Elite Four with a Caterpie Oak. You got to give me some sort of break here. Look at those stats. Absolutely dreadful. Well, this run is over. If you watched for the full 2 hours, my word, give yourself a pat on the back and get yourself a complimentary beverage. You probably need it after that. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I'm going to do coughing next because it's in the bank. Thanks for tuning in. Wherever you are in the world, stay safe, take care, farewell.